There are 8 major AI models competing for your attention right now. 8. And everyone has a hot take about which one is the best. Some people swear by ChatGPT. Others say Claude writes like an actual human. Gemini fans say the others don't even come close. And then, out of nowhere, a model from China showed up in January 2025 and legitimately scared Silicon Valley. Here's the thing. Most people are using the wrong AI for what they actually need. And by the end of this video, you won't be one of them. We're going to cover all 8. Fast, simple, no fluff. But I'm saving the most surprising stat in AI history for the very end. It changes everything about how you think about these tools. Stick around for it. Let's start with the one you've definitely heard of. ChatGPT, November 2022. OpenAI drops ChatGPT on the internet. Within 5 days, 1 million users. Within 2 months, 100 million. To put that in perspective, it took Netflix 3.5 years to reach the same number. ChatGPT is the fastest-growing consumer software product in human history. It was the AI equivalent of the iPhone moment. Everyone suddenly understood what this technology could actually do. The version most of you started with, GPT 3.5, was genuinely impressive for 2022. Then GPT-4 arrived in March 2023 and blew the doors off. By May 2024, GPT-4o brought multimodal capabilities. That means text, images, voice, and more, all in one, to free users. And as of 2026, GPT-5 is available to everyone, combining reasoning, image generation, and autonomous agent capabilities in a single system. Think of ChatGPT like a Swiss Army knife. It's not always the sharpest tool for any single job, but it does everything, and it does all of it well. Best for general use, students, writers, developers, literally anyone. And yes, GPT-5 is free, but being the most popular doesn't mean it's always the best tool, especially for one specific type of work. Which brings us to Claude is the one that professionals keep quietly choosing when no one's looking. Built by Anthropic, a company founded by former OpenAI researchers who left because they wanted to put AI safety first, Claude launched in March 2023. It's not trying to be the flashiest model, it's trying to be the most trustworthy one. Here's what makes Claude different: the writing quality. If you've ever gotten a response from an AI that felt robotic, overly formal, or just a little off, you've probably not used Claude. Its conversational tone is genuinely different. Lawyers, editors, researchers, and consultants consistently prefer it for long-form work. The latest versions, Claude Opus 4.6 and Claude Sonnet 4.6, are particularly strong at extended context. That means you can feed it an entire research paper, a legal contract, or a 200-page manuscript, and it won't lose the thread. Best for long documents, deep reasoning, high-quality writing, coding. Most human-like writing quality of any model on this list. Great, now you've got the American heavy hitters. But Google has been in the AI game longer than any of them. So why did it take so long for them to show up? That's a great question, and the answer is actually a little uncomfortable for Google. Google had a problem. They basically invented the transformer architecture, the technology that makes all of these AI models possible, and then got beaten to market by a startup. They launched Google Bard in 2023 to mixed reviews, but then they rebranded, rebuilt, and came back hard. In November 2025, Google released Gemini 3 Pro, describing it as their most intelligent model to date. Then just 3 months later, Gemini 3.1 Pro achieved an AGI-2 score of 77.1%, more than double the previous version. ARC-AGI-2 is basically a test of genuine reasoning ability, the kind of flexible, novel problem-solving that humans do naturally. A score of 77.1% is a genuinely big deal. But here's the real Gemini advantage. It's already inside everything you use. Google Search, Gmail, Google Docs, Google Meet. Apple is even planning to use Gemini in an upcoming version of Siri. You might already be using Gemini without realizing it. Best for research, anything in the Google ecosystem, multimodal tasks. Okay, but what if you don't want a standalone AI app? What if you just want AI to work inside the tools you're already paying for? Well, one company figured that out before anyone else. Here's a number: 1.2 billion. That's how many people use Microsoft Office. Microsoft didn't build a new AI from scratch. They invested heavily in OpenAI. GPT-5 is accessible directly through Copilot, and then did something smarter. They embedded it everywhere people already work. Copilot lives in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, and Outlook. Ask it to summarize a 40-email thread, draft a performance review, build a quarterly report from raw data, generate slide designs from bullet points. It just does it, inside the app you're already in. Microsoft estimates that Copilot users save an average of over an hour per day on repetitive tasks. Best for anyone working in Microsoft 365. No extra app to learn. It's already there, waiting. Now here's where the story gets genuinely interesting, because while all these American companies were competing with each other, something unexpected happened in China. January 2025. A Chinese AI lab releases a model called R1, and Silicon Valley panics. DeepSeek R1 matched GPT-4 level performance. That alone would be impressive. But here's the part that caused genuine market disruption. They did it at a fraction of the cost. NVIDIA's stock dropped nearly 17% in a single day, wiping out almost $600 billion in market value. Because investors suddenly realized the hardware arms race might not matter as much as everyone thought. The secret? A technique called mixture of experts architecture. Imagine instead of hiring 100 specialists and making all of them work on every problem, you only activate the relevant experts for each specific task. DeepSeek has 671 billion total parameters, but only activates 37 billion per query. It's like a power plant that only runs the generators it needs. Massively efficient. Best for developers, budget-conscious users, raw reasoning tasks. This is the model that proved efficiency can beat scale and spooked the entire AI industry in the process. All right, we've covered the builders, the integrators, and the disruptors. Now let's talk about the most chaotic entry on this list. Grok is the AI that lives on social media and refuses to pretend the internet is a polite place. Built by Elon Musk's xAI and integrated directly into X, formerly Twitter, Grok has a real-time information advantage that no other model on this list can match. It's reading the internet as it happens. If something breaks in the news at 2 a.m., Grok knows about it. Performance-wise, it's legitimately strong. Grok achieves 93.3% accuracy on AIME 2025 math benchmarks, placing it ahead of DeepSeek, Gemini, and GPT models on mathematical reasoning. And Grok 4.1 Fast supports a 2 million token context window, one of the largest available anywhere. The trade-off? It's the most controversial model here. It faced backlash in July 2025 after generating inappropriate content. xAI apologized and temporarily suspended its posting capabilities. Best for real-time news, trending topics, unfiltered answers. The only AI that lives inside social media and gives you genuinely current information. One more model before the comparison table, and this one is completely different from everything else, because it's not trying to be a chatbot at all. Every other tool on this list is a chatbot that can search. Perplexity is a search engine that happens to chat. That distinction matters a lot. When you ask Perplexity a question, it pulls from up to 20 sources per query, synthesizes them, and gives you an answer with automatic citations. So you can verify everything it says. It's grown to 22 million monthly active users. People who want AI answers they can actually trust. Think of the difference this way. Asking ChatGPT a research question is like asking a very well-read friend. Asking Perplexity is like asking a reference librarian who shows their work. Perplexity. Pro at $20 a month gives you access to multiple top models, including GPT 5.1 and Claude Opus. So you're essentially getting a multi-model research assistant in one place. Best for research, fact-checking, news, anything where citations matter. Google search reimagined with AI at its core. Almost there. Last model, and it might already be on your phone right now. Here's the most accessible AI on this list, and you almost certainly already have access to it. Meta AI is embedded across Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. No download, no account, no subscription. Just there, in the apps already on your phone, ready to go. It's built on Meta's open-source Llama models. Llama 4, released in April 2025, comes in two variants. Scout, with a 10 million token context window, one of the largest in existence, and Maverick, with 400 billion parameters for deeper reasoning. Is it the most powerful model here? No, but for casual everyday use, it's the most frictionless. Zero cost, zero setup, already in your pocket. Best for casual use, quick questions, social media contexts. The only AI already on your phone without downloading anything. Okay, remember at the start, I told you I was saving the most surprising stat in AI history for the end. Here it is. All 8 of these models, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Copilot, DeepSeek, Grok, Perplexity, Meta AI, are built on some version of Transformer architecture, a technical framework first published in a 2017 Google paper called Attention is All You Need. Google literally published the blueprint for the technology that now competes with them. OpenAI, Anthropic, xAI, Meta, all of them built on research that Google made public. The most dominant AI company in the world gave away the playbook, and now it's racing to catch the companies that used it. That's the real story of AI in 2026. It's not about which model is the best. It's about how open research created the fastest technology arms race in human history, and you're living through it right now. Here's the simple decision tree. Need to do everything? ChatGPT, writing or long documents. Claude, living in Google's ecosystem. Gemini, using Microsoft 365 daily. Copilot, doing research you need to cite. Perplexity, want real-time news and no filter. Grok, tight budget or you're a developer. DeepSeek, want zero friction, already on your phone. Meta AI, the bottom line, there's no single winner. Each one was built for something specific. Use the right tool for the right job, and you'll be ahead of 90% of people who just default to whatever they heard of first. If this video helped you finally make sense of all these tools, smash that like button. It takes you half a second, and it genuinely helps this channel. Subscribe if you want to keep up with how fast this space is moving, because I promise you, by the time you watch this, at least one of these models will have released a new version. And drop a comment. Which AI have you actually tried, and which one surprised you the most? I read every single comment.